We start live with a look at the broken barriers and downed fences. This is outside of the Justice Center, otherwise known as the downtown jail in Portland, where demonstrators tore down that section of fencing last night at Southwest 3rd and Madison. Now, this is the view next from Sky 8 from last night. So police confirming to us they did have to use crowd control munitions to break up the crowd and de-escalate things. We're waiting for more information about any arrest from last night. Just a short distance away from there, buildings downtown showed messages of solidarity for George Floyd. The message, "I can't breathe," were his last words while he was pinned down by police. A building next to that, you see there to the left, says Black Lives Matter. Earlier in the day, we saw a non-violent demonstration at Revolution Concert Hall in Southeast Portland. And then hundreds of skateboarders also joined together to ride around the waterfront for a Black Lives Matter protest. Today, City Council will vote on a final budget for the city of Portland. Hundreds of people still want to testify. More than 700 signed up to speak at yesterday's virtual meeting. Most of them are demanding a change to police funding. Activists say they want $50 million of the Bureau's $244 million budget taken away and reinvested in the community.
Police have a monopoly over the use of violence, but they should not have a monopoly on our imaginations.
The OCA has joined with numerous other organizations in a coalition effort to insist that funds derived from the Portland cannabis tax appropriately go to social programs and services that aid Black, Latinx, and Native American people in our community.
On Tuesday, Mayor Ted Wheeler said he plans to end the city's gun violence reduction team and school resource officers. He also wants to take $7 million from the police budget to invest in programs for communities of color. Wheeler was not part of yesterday's meeting. He is grieving the loss of his mother, who died on Tuesday. He is expected to be there today when that meeting starts up again at 2 o'clock. In Washington County, a deputy is accused of attacking a man in their jail booking area. As KGW's Mike Benner reports, the deputy is only now facing charges 2 years after the assault.
Disturbing video from inside the Washington County Jail in Hillsborough. You'll notice a jail deputy go from one side of the room to another to attack a man getting booked for DUI.
I've been practicing law for a long time. I've seen a lot of videos. I've seen people die in videos. There was a viciousness to this which was unique.
Greg Kafori is the attorney representing the victim, 45-year-old Albert Molina, an American of Mexican descent. Kafori says what bothers him most is that Molina was doing nothing more than acting drunk and silly in the moments leading up to the March 2018 assault.
This is the kind of an injury that people die from all the time. Multiple skull fractures, bleeding on the brain. He survived, but he has rather profound symptoms of brain injury, memory problems, that sort of thing.
The video is awful, and there's we can't sugarcoat it.
Washington County Sheriff Pat Garrett identifies Ryan Alden as the deputy involved in the attack. The sheriff explains why Alden was not immediately prosecuted.
At the conclusion of that investigation, the district attorney's office believed there was not enough evidence to proceed at the time. We reviewed that case, and that review did not result in policy violations, and I recognize that does not add up.
Fast forward to May of this year. The sheriff's office received an email alleging that Alden engaged in racist behavior online many years ago.
I made arrangements to place him on administrative leave, and we started a personal investigation. And the district attorney's office saw that same communication, and that caused them to put their own process in motion.
The DA's office presented Molina's 2-year-old case to a grand jury, and last week, Alden was charged with first-degree official misconduct, a misdemeanor. Molina's attorney will tell you the charge doesn't come close to fitting the alleged crime that was caught on camera.
This is a Washington County case, but pretty much anywhere you look, it's the same thing. Police officers can get away with just about anything.
All right, Albert Molina did file a lawsuit against Washington County for hundreds of thousands of dollars. As for Ryan Alden's employment status with the sheriff's office, again, he's on administrative leave pending the outcome of the investigation into his online behavior as well as the court proceedings for the attack. I'm Mike Benner for KGW News.
Amazon is suspending police use of its facial recognition technology for 1 year. The Washington County Sheriff's Office is the only police department listed as using this technology, and Amazon wouldn't say if there are other departments using it too. Studies have criticized the facial recognition software, saying it may hold racial bias by incorrectly identifying people with darker skin. Right now, there's no federal legislation that regulates it. Amazon says it hopes Congress can come up with something in the next year. Now, the Washington County Sheriff's Department sent us this statement. You see it there on your screen. It says the facial recognition program was an innovation worth exploring. But until stronger regulations to govern the ethical use of the technology are in place, the Washington County Sheriff's Office will be suspending its use of the program indefinitely. As nationwide protests push for police reform and changes to police funding, many people are wondering what that process is going to look like. We could have a great example to draw from right here in Oregon. So Eugene has a program to help the homeless called Cahoots. It stands for Crisis Assistance Helping Out on the Streets, and they operate in teams of 2, featuring a crisis intervention worker and a medic. They respond to certain calls to help with mental health crises, intoxication, and mediation without the police.
I honor they have a position within our society and our systems. I also believe that they might not be the one-size-fits-all response for crises.
So Cahoots doesn't deal with criminal situations. They can call in police for backup. They say last year they responded to 20% of what would be police calls, and they rarely needed help from an armed officer. There is now a petition with thousands of signatures demanding that 30% of the Eugene police budget go to Cahoots. Portland's pilot program, the Portland Street Response, something Commissioner Joanne Hardesty has been pushing for a long time for, is modeled after Cahoots. Overnight, we learned about a shooting at an apartment complex in Northeast Portland where one person died. Officers say someone opened fire at Glendevere Estates. It's on 162nd Avenue in the Glenfair neighborhood. This happened around 12:30 this morning. We haven't heard about any arrests yet or what led up to that shooting. We also have another shooting to report this morning. This one happened last night on I-205 around 10 p.m. Police say people in one car shot at people in another car multiple times while both were driving on the interstate near the exit for Mall 205. One person was hit, taken to the hospital. We really don't know much more than that at the moment, but we'll certainly keep you updated as we find out more. Okay, let's get to your coronavirus headlines with 3 things to know right now. More than 2 million Americans have contracted COVID-19 so far, and 113,000 have died. New York, New Jersey, California, and Massachusetts have been hit the hardest. Experts warn even though states are reopening, the pandemic isn't over, and many people are still vulnerable to the virus. Number 2, Oregon is seeing a rise in COVID infections this week. Yesterday, state health officials reported 72 new cases. This graph shows the spike that we've seen recently. On Sunday, we saw the largest number of cases reported in a single day since the pandemic began. But it is important to note there have been just under 5,000 confirmed coronavirus cases in Oregon out of more than 150,000 people tested. That's about a 3% positive rate. And number 3, the Oregon Department of Education is looking ahead to next school year. It's requiring individual districts to work with schools to determine whether they'll teach all students on site, through distance learning, or with some combination of those two. Districts have to approve what they're calling an operational blueprint for each school. That includes managing facilities, engaging families and communities, and making sure learning is equal for all students. And those are 3 things to know right now. Well, today, SeaWorld in Orlando, Florida reopens to visitors with some new restrictions. Only a third of the typical number of guests will be allowed in. Everybody has to wear a mask. Visitors can only go on rides with the people in their party, and seats will be wiped down after every ride. Social distancing markers will also be placed on the ground for people to follow. Now, in addition to SeaWorld, Disney World is reopening next month in Florida, and Disneyland just 1 week after that. And Universal Studios in Florida is already open for business. So even with these safety and health measures in place, we want to know if that's enough. Would you feel comfortable going to a theme park? You can see the results up there so far. It's changing as we speak. 49% of you say yes. And now it's a 50-50 split. Look at that. You guys are just weighing in and changing the numbers in real time. If you haven't already, weigh in. We want to know what you think too. Just go to kgw.com/vote, or you can go to the vote tab on our news app. I think you're braver than I am, because I'm not sure I would go quite yet. But we'll keep the poll open. Want to hear from you.